Hello, everybody. Melissa Loveton again from Coldwell Banker, downtown Sarasota. And I am here with the lovely Laura Hanzelka, VP with Guaranteed Rate Affinity, a lender who I've really grown to admire and trust. Had many clients go through Guaranteed Rate Affinity. We have one slogan between the two of us: close on time every single time, and they do. And you'd be surprised how rare that actually can be. In any event, Laura is here to talk to us today about the ever elusive concept of PMI. So this should be an interesting topic. Laura, what is PMI, first of all? Define it for us.
Sure. So PMI, the letters stand for Private Mortgage Insurance. And a lot of people go, but I'm already getting insurance through State Farm. You know, I've already got my own policy that I've set up. Why do I need PMI? Well, PMI is an insurance policy that actually protects the lender. It doesn't protect the buyer. And the reason for that is it essentially protects the lender, because if they ever had to foreclose on the property, the value's not there. They're not going to probably get their money back. And so the insurance pays any loss that the lender might incur if they had to foreclose on a property. So that's why they have PMI.
When is PMI initiated? If is it from the lender?
So PMI works like this. If somebody is putting down at least 20%, we're not going to require PMI, because back to that nasty foreclosure example, if we had to foreclose and somebody had put 20% down, we're probably not going to take a loss on that property. So that's why that 20% down is the threshold that we go with. So that's, so that's what we take a look at when determining in the beginning of the process if somebody needs PMI or not.
So if a borrower is not putting down 20%, chances are they are going to have PMI. Is that right?
That is right. And there's a couple of different ways that you can have, PMI, the cost of it depends on a lot of factors, but it also depends on how much you're putting down. So if you can't pull together quite a full 20%, but maybe you can pull together 15%. We have a couple of different types of PMI. Some are more expensive than the others, but there's definitely ways that PMI can actually be a good thing, whereas most of the times we think of it as a dirty word.
True. Most of my clients would agree with that. So what, as a buyer, can I say, oh, I don't want PMI?
Absolutely. And I'll say,
yes.
And I'll say, let's write a check for 20% now.
Right.
So yeah, if you are putting down less than 20%, you do have to go with PMI.
Okay.
But again, there's different types of PMI. There's types that the seller can actually pay on behalf of the buyer. So if you are in a situation where you're negotiating the sale and you don't want a higher payment, because PMI can be part of the payment, or PMI can be paid in a lump sum, you can have the seller pay that PMI for you.
And that's going to be a percentage of the sale.
It's going to be a percentage of the loan amount.
Typically, if they're paying your PMI for you, what are you asking them to pay? What kind of percentage rate?
It's going to depend on a lot of things. It's going to depend on your buyer's credit score, the loan amount, the debt ratio. It's a little bit hard to give a flat percentage.
So the buyer's credit score does play a role in the PMI?
It absolutely does.
Okay. So PMI is on your mortgage, and you understand it's, the cost of doing business for this moment in time for this home. You accept a PMI and you have your payments. Now you move in, you've been there 6 months, and you really want to get rid of PMI. How does a buyer release PMI?
That's a great question. It comes up all the time, and I've actually done it myself as a homeowner. So it works like this. First of all, let's just say you are going to, one way you can do it, if not a way I would typically recommend, is you can refinance the home if you've got the equity already built up.
Okay.
And the PMI would be removed because you have the 20% equity you need. That's probably, in most cases, not the best way to do it, because you have closing costs associated with a refinance.
Okay.
So, you would need to be refinancing for more than just to remove the PMI.
Okay.
So that's one way. The second way is, as you build equity and the value of your property goes up, you can have you can contact your lender and let the lender know that, you believe that you have at least 20% equity in your home. Now, I want to start this off by saying you typically have to have made mortgage payments for 2 years before they'll do that. So if 6 months after you move into the home, you feel that you have 20%, you're going to have to wait the full 2 years. You're going to have to wait the full 2 years in most cases. So you call the bank, you let them know the situation. They send out an appraiser. They order the appraisal. You pay for the appraisal. And if it comes back and shows that there is indeed more than 20% equity, they simply remove it. So you're paying the cost of an appraisal, and that's it. That's a lot less expensive than a refinance, which is why I say don't ever let anybody talk you into refinancing your mortgage just for the sake of removing PMI.
Okay.
Better ways to do it than that.
Okay. Wonderful. Have any more PMI questions? Send me a text or an email or give me a phone call, and we'll get Laura on the hook and answer your questions. Okay, thank you very much, Laura. That's always a confusing topic. Have a good day out there, everybody.